Hello everybody, Maximula here. I'm a civil engineer and with over 2 years of experience as of now. And now I'm in Turkey pursuing my master's in civil engineering. Yep. So I want to talk about a few things that most civil engineers, civil engineering students are not taught during their colleges, their universities, during their study. One is there's a shock after graduation. What's the shock? It's not guaranteed that after graduation you will be working or pursuing higher or furthering your studies. It's not guaranteed. Reason being, after graduation, when you come out of your graduations and all that, after that excitement, because after you complete your thing, there will be a graduation period and then there will be that excitement period. After that period, that's when reality check hits you. Bah! And then when it hits you, the only thing you think about is like, okay, what's the next step? Most of us are lucky enough that during our colleges years, or we tend to opt for furthering our studies, right? So we get lucky. Those ones are lucky. Like, I have a friend who immediately after graduation he came to Turkey, like I am right now, and he started his studies. He's doing masters and this is his final year. So most of those are lucky. Reason being, doing that elongates that thing, the shock. It elongates the shock because you don't have to worry about anything besides your college stuff, right? Your university stuff, right? But for those who don't want to further their studies, here's the shock, right? Now you just completed everything done. Now you want to apply for jobs, you want to do this. One thing that many people don't tell you is that it's hard to apply for jobs in today's age. Reason being, we have so many people who are engineers, so many people who did the same thing as you did, so many people who are graduates, and to see that some countries like India have a GATE exam where people apply through that and then they can get a certain position. But countries like mine, nobody tells you what you're gonna do or how to do it. It's either you get lucky, you get employed in some company, or you don't get lucky and you suffer for like few years or few months until you get a job. And for me, I was one of those who got a kind of workshop. It was a workshop, it wasn't a job. I got a workshop that distracted me for a few months, and immediately after the completion of that workshop I was back again down sitting. Luckily my father is a surveyor, so I would help him here and there and for months until I got my job. And then I got a job. When I got a job, that's when I was like, oh damn man, nobody prepared me for that. When you get a job as a graduate, things that you learn in school, you don't apply them as much because it depends on what you're doing on the field. If you're construction side engineer, you're not gonna be calculating. You're just there to supervise, do a lot of supervision stuff. If you're like me, working at the office, designing, helping with designs, there's a lot of reading that you need to do. There's a lot of reading that you need to do. There's a lot of understanding that you need to do. And don't be afraid to ask your seniors. Don't be afraid to ask anybody around you, like, yo, how do we do this? They're not going to laugh at you and be like, no, you have a degree. If you can. No, they're going to help you because here we are not working against each other. We are working for somebody and we are working to make something great. You get? So you shouldn't be worried. At first I was worried. I was one of those who are like, damn, how do you ask for that? So yeah, that's my summary of my life, right? Cool. But for those going through the first hardship, which is unemployment or underemployment. So underemployment is when you don't have a certain experience, because most jobs want a certain experience. Yeah, there are some for graduates, but 99% want a certain experience. Some want entry level, but most of them want a certain experience, right? So that's when we say you are unemployed. We can't hire you because you don't have a certain experience. Unemployed is literally when you don't have no job, literally. You get it? So it's worse because nobody prepares you for that, and you have to go through that alone. And some of us, we end up being like, but I have a degree, I worked for my degree, but the company's like, I don't care, I want experience too, because I'm not just gonna put you in the field and you mess up everything. Having a degree doesn't mean that you know everything. Having a degree means that you showed up every day to do something for 4 to 5 years, 3 years, but doesn't mean you know what you were doing. Doesn't mean that. Most of us don't know what we were doing. Most of us, me included. Some things I don't know what I was doing. I got to experience that when I was in the job. I was like, oh damn, this is what that teacher meant or that lecturer meant that day when he was saying this. So we are not prepared for that, right? So you have to try by all means to learn little by little what is what, who's who, when is when, and that's when you understand a few things about those things. Secondly, there's a confusion and identity crisis. If you have studied something broad like civil engineering, for instance, it has branches. So the first questions, or some of the questions you're going to ask yourself, is what now? What path do I take? Because it has so many branches. And am I good enough? Is this normal or painful? Like, those are some of the big questions you're going to ask yourself within those broad, those first months or years of your after graduation process. And believe me, everybody goes through that, so don't you worry. Everybody. All right, so I was saying, most of us go through that, so you shouldn't worry about those crises. It's something that most of us go through. Now, if you have a family, of which everybody's supposed to have a family, I don't know how you came to this world without a family. By a family, I don't mean your parents. A family can be a lot of things. It can be if you're adopted, that's your family. If you still have guardians, that's your family. A family means a lot. So if you have a family, you sometimes experience pressure from them. And if you have friends too, you have expectations, pressure, peer pressure, all kinds of pressure come, right? Your friends might be experiencing certain things in their life, some changes. Maybe they be in a certain position and you're at the starting position and you're wondering, what should I do? You have this pressure. And these are some of the things that you need to learn before before your completion. Like, these things happen. You don't have money. Life needs money. We all know that. The worst thing about life is we need money to survive. But when we die and leave it here for those behind us. That's the worst thing about life. But the good thing about life is it's a journey. So we keep learning every day. That's the good thing about it. So the other thing that you're going to realize is that degree alone is not enough. Degree alone is not enough. Companies want experience, specific skills, software knowledge. So degree alone, totally not enough, right? So you have to start learning skills, getting to know specific language. Like, there's a language that we use when we're at work. We don't talk like this. We don't yapa yapa yapa. No, there's a way you talk to your bosses. There's a way you receive news. There's a way you talk back to your bosses. So you have to learn those communication skills. You have to learn how to talk to. You have to learn personal skills, communication skills, specific skills, certainly for depending on the company you want to work at or want to work for. So you have to start learning extra skills. And also there will be emotional challenges, stress, anxiety, depression, so on and so forth. You have those. You feel like, oh my Lord, my emails have not been answered. Oh no, you get insecure. My classmates got jobs before me. Oh no, the pressure about the future. You start doubting your worth. Like, no, my friend got married. My friend has this, my friend that, my friend that. you start to compare yourself. You look in the mirror and be like, nah, man, nah, God, like questioning your faith. Some question that faith. Like there's a lot that's gonna happen, but you shouldn't worry. It's part of life. That's what we need to keep on going. It's part of life. It's challenges that we experience. But don't worry, there's a turning point for everybody. That's a good thing about life. There's always a turning point. There's a turning point. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but there is a turning point for everybody. Each and every one of us has a turning point. It can be today, it can be tomorrow, but just know that everybody after graduation struggles. And it's not because they are weak, but it's because it's a difficult stage of life and different stage of life. It's a difficult stage of life, right? Our parents will keep telling you, go to college, go to school, go this, but they never tell you that after that, there comes the most difficult struggle of life. Like that stage is the most difficult one, because that's when you come to choose what you're gonna be doing for the rest of your life. That's where you choose how to do what you gotta do to survive. Like it's the most difficult thing. That's where you see people doing most things and then you're like, why not me? But not to worry, everybody goes through that. We all experience that. The turning point, when it comes when you start realizing what is what, who's who to talk to. And for those who don't know who to talk to, the first person to talk to is your family, anybody in your family who you trust. And also there's something that I love about people who copy sometimes. Who copy good things, that is. Have people who you look up to and copy the way they did things if you don't understand your own way. Copy the way they did things if you want to align your future with theirs. But know your future is different from theirs. But it's going to be somewhat aligned if you copy the good things. Like learn a new skill, get small experience by working for whatever job offer. Stop comparing your journey. That's the other thing. And slowly and surely doors will start to open for you. This has been Maximula, and if you liked this video till this far, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.